Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek bonus round for Thor Ragnarok, a spoilercast. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
I'm like fire.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello. I was trying to think of a quote and I couldn't do it.
I got nothing. Welcome, listeners and viewers. This is a spoiler cast for Thor Ragnarok, which we had just seen in the theaters. If you haven't seen it yet, you don't want to listen to this episode because we will freely talk about spoilers and not care if we spoil it for you. So that is your last warning. Do not listen going forward. We're going to get right into this because it's been a long night of us doing a lot of episodes. And we're going to, get into Thor and talk about the comedy superhero movie. I think, not the first.
Buddy
comedy. Yeah. It's not the first comedy superhero because you could say Deadpool was. But this was like weird for me.
I'd say Guardians was almost a comedy too.
Yeah,
but...
I guess you're right.
It was.
It was weird for me because I just I don't think I was expecting it to be this fun, light.
It was very tonally different.
Yeah.
Very tonally different. It's very jarring, and especially if you've watched Thor 1 or 2 recently. I'm sure it's probably really jarring. But you know what? Props. I think Marvel did a great job of identifying hey, Thor is clearly the weakest out of the Phase 1 Avengers. What can we do to really reinvent the wheel here?
You might be right there. They may have reinvented what he can do as a character in this now. And I mean, immediately starting off, they broke the fourth wall, right? I mean,
where he's it's like he's talking to the skeleton. It's I know what you're wondering. What's Thor doing? Blah blah blah.
Did they try to make them into their Deadpool? I mean, not quite as.
No, I didn't get that feeling at all.
Not the Deadpool, but. I don't think it was
really
intentional.
Feel like it's just trying to make another Guardians.
I mean,
more than making him a Deadpool.
The shorts with him kind of did that though already. I think it set the tone for what got with this.
And that's what I think they realized because just between their own efforts with Thor and then what we've seen with Superman, it's all right, you have this pretty much, literally in Thor's case, a god, like a deity. How can you make it relatable? How can you make it interesting? And how can you make people care? And going the super serious, fish out of water, and I can't relate to these mortals, blah blah. This didn't work. And honestly, I think the whole Jane storyline between Thor 1 and the Dark World, just dragged the character down. So you just totally disassociate, be you know what? Let's play up to both the character, because I mean, historically, if you read Marvel traditional Thor comics, he is kind of goofy. He is pretty goofy, not slapstick totally, but.
I mean, I thought he was
he's more goofy because he's out of touch with
he's goofy.
humanity.
It's
Thor
a
1.
weird thing.
That's why I like Thor
he
1
was.
In the beginning. Thor 2 I thought was just a little.
No, Thor 2 is not to be talked about, but.
But I mean, I think Chris Hemsworth does a fantastic job with his comedic timing. I don't know. I thought every time he tried to be funny, it was delivered very well.
Yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people are praising him for that role, and I didn't think he did a bad job. I didn't hate this movie. I feel like for me it missed. I don't know. It just missed. I wasn't what I was expecting. I guess for what
the opening is tough to take, just because it's just
I actually love the opening.
I love the opening. It's hold up. I'm rotating.
Well, not even that. I'm just saying the action. That is the best Thor action we've ever seen.
Oh yeah, we have to see him with that hammer flying around.
That.
He's fighting all the.
I was so taken out of it because it was just a joke at that point. I was I don't even really remember what happened
at that point, but I also. This is one of my gripes for this movie. I could right off the bat, they overused that song. You don't play that twice in that movie. Once
I liked it. I liked it.
You played it at the end too, though.
I think the problem was it was in the trailer.
And it was in the trailer. They overused
so that's
that
why.
song.
Otherwise, I had no problem with it. It worked well. And
they started with it and finished with it.
When
they played it at the end of the
when he went Super Saiyan.
Yeah. They played it.
I like
and the lyrics to it fit perfectly.
Sure, I understand that, but use it once. Don't use it twice in the same movie.
It's a theme. It was a theme of it. It's his theme. It's you don't
complain every time the Batman or Superman.
I do talk about music quite often in this podcast. I have.
Oh man, we didn't mention. I love the music of Stranger Things. Fuck.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's powerful. Yes, but I do talk about music usually a lot, Nick, because it is part of the movie. It really engrosses you into it.
Okay, are you complaining about the Wonder Woman theme?
No.
He does all the time complain about it.
Actually, I complain about it because I don't like it. But
yeah, I also mentioned the Batman theme. I don't really like too much, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think that it was his theme for this movie, so it made sense to me they would.
I don't
have a problem with. Just I don't have a problem with them acclaimed Wonder Woman's theme. I just don't like it. So if you don't like this music, that's fine. It's just
it's not that I didn't like the song, and it fits great for the character. I just thought it was overused. So, but I did like that opening sequence. I thought it was fucking awesome. Like, I mean, it was really great that they full on Thor in action kind of thing.
Yeah, they let him loose there.
Yeah, and that's part of what I like, because in Thor 1, when you open up on when they're fighting the Frost Titans or whatever, like, he's just so hubris. He's just so hubris about, you know, how powerful he is. And I love seeing that again in this, where he's just like, yeah, sure, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing, and, you know, whatever. Oh, sure, Ragnarok. Right, whatever.
But they established, that was another issue I ran into.
That's what heroes do.
A lot of this movie undid the first two movies. Like, it undid what the character growth was in the first movie, and then it undid Thor.
How so?
So why do you say that?
Well, he regressed back to the way he was when he first...
Yeah, he's just being like a cocky douche in the beginning of this.
See, he's a cocky douche against his enemies. I don't think he was a cocky... Like, when he shows up on Asgard, he sees through Loki right away. And he's just like, look, come on. Like, you know what's going to happen here if you don't, like, you know, fess up right now.
And here's the thing about Loki. Like, he goes from conquering a world to just being, like, crapped on throughout this movie by everyone.
They undid Thor 2 real quick in this movie. They really just undid Thor 2. Like, the ending of Thor 2... Here's
saying about that?
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying it was done, like,
they made it a joke about it, man.
I know.
And let's talk about Matt Damon's cameo.
That was awesome.
It
was fantastic, yes.
And that was, I think Thor was actually Chris Hemsworth's brother, wasn't it? The other Hemsworth?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Hemsworth.
Maybe. I wasn't sure. I can't ever...
I'm pretty sure I read that. That was...
I thought it was hilarious.
And that's a throwback, actually, to... Matt Damon playing Loki in was it Dogma from Kevin Smith?
Yeah, they also.
That's right.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting into a lot of gripes in the beginning here because we're going to get into the movie and I like it, but this is my issue from the beginning. Remember, I said I didn't like the first 30 minutes of this movie was adjustment for me because it was undoing all of this. It was changing the character.
I didn't see it undoing it at all.
And then it was.
No, I know what you mean.
And then it took Odin. It took him and like knocked him down from being super powerful to being like a guy with a front. He wasn't really that powerful, actually. He just had everybody.
He was that powerful.
No, he wasn't. Like, a lot of the gauntlet in the vault that they retconned out as being fake stuff, all of that stuff in that vault was fake. He used it as a show of power to get his Asgardians to be like.
She said that was fake.
No, she said a lot of this stuff down here is fake.
Okay.
She pointed fake. You know, he used a lot of that as like a show piece.
I think she's like fake, weak, whatever.
Yeah.
She's like,
fake and weak.
Yeah, but that's you're taking the villain's word for it. I mean, not to say that she's lying, but I mean, obviously she's fucking pissed off. Like I just don't see why you're taking that like at such thing. I mean, Odin is known to be a conniving asshole. Like that is within character for Odin.
Oh, okay, I got more from the first two movies Odin that he wasn't like that.
Right, because that was the new Odin, but classic Odin.
I'm sure I understand what you're saying there, but I'm just getting for what they've established. It just undid what they've established.
Right, and that's fine because it's showing that
But that's what I'm saying. I'm complaining about. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Like that's where I had the issue in the beginning. And once I adjusted to that, I felt like the movie was fine for me. That was a key for the first.
I don't think that they I would say undid is the wrong word.
I do think they really sort of like you go. I think more for Loki myself. Like he goes from the villain in Avengers to like just shat on by everyone throughout this movie.
Because he's been shat on. He knows his place now.
He's a jester. I mean,
I understand that, but like he goes from like world conqueror to like just a loser.
He didn't conquer the world. He tried to conquer.
Well, he was so like 5 minutes.
He had so much help.
Yeah, multiple times.
Like it was on his own power or anything like that.
For being a very popular Marvel villain, the most popular so far, they really didn't write. I didn't think he had too big of a. I didn't like his change actually for this, but again,
they made they took his teeth away.
I think
he's neutered,
but I think that was fine. I mean, I think that showed character
very in line with what Dark World or Dark whatever set up. Was it Dark World?
Yeah, the Dark World. Yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of like they.
When Dark World started, they were like the buddy cops, but then the ending it as like, oh wait, he did something douchey again. Like he took over.
But that's what he does, and they even joked about the fact that
he's like, I know
they made it a joke.
He's like, he knows my admiration for Snake, so he formed into a snake, and then went, oh, it's me, and then stabbed me in the. It's like
I love that story. I'm not saying that wasn't great. I mean, that was hilarious. And then he's nodding in the background.
Yeah, he's like smirking, like
reminiscing.
But I mean, it's just a change of character because it's like he didn't really seem to have an end game at all in this, except for like.
I think
flying by the seat of his pants.
The undid stuff thing, I really don't see at all, because I really see the progression of his character from the Dark World into this movie is where you would expect it to be.
He just took over Asgard at the end of that movie, and now he's like, I'm going to be a jester this entire movie.
Well, because Thor
just took over Asgard, and it's like, you know what? I'm just going to pretend to be Odin and enjoy my freaking, like,
right. The thing about Loki, like, he was, right, I mean...
He was fine with that. That's all he wanted. He constructed a statue of himself.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what he wanted on Earth. He did one thing.
Right, I mean, right, that's the thing. Is like, he that was the whole point of Avengers, that he couldn't become, between Thor and Avengers, was he couldn't rule Asgard. So he would have settled for Earth. He came back, kicked Odin out, was like, okay, I could be ruler of Asgard finally. Like, disguised as my father. But, like, that's all he wanted. Like, was...
Made a play about it, too.
Yeah.
The play was awesome. I will say that. The play was awesome.
I love it.
With Thor coming back and just watching the end of that.
I love, too, when, like, Thor shows up, like, he's drinking, and, like, he goes, oh, shit. Like, that was perfect. Like...
it was a very, I mean, it had a lot of comedy in it. So yeah, I mean, we get introduced to, then we get this sequence in that Marvel decided to change, which I felt was a really bad idea for them to change that sequence, where they obviously didn't want to have it shot in a city. Is it Hela? Hela showing up, and like Odin's last moments. They obviously went to see Doctor Strange, which again,
I love Doctor Strange's cameo. I thought that was awesome.
I thought that was good too. I thought that was a good Doctor Strange.
It was so out of place, but it fit.
But it fit with his character, and it worked with like.
And it tied right into his bumper sequence at the whatever.
Yeah.
End of his movie.
Like, oh, don't forget your umbrella. Oh yeah,
that's what he did. I tried to remember what he actually did. He got him to see Odin.
Yeah.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was.
It's like,
do you know who
but
I am?
no,
So
he's like, goodbye.
The new Odin sequence, it starts it's definitely like the end of Star Wars.
Well, they blue screened in
the end of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, right, because apparently, allegedly, what is his name? Wakiti or
Taika
Wakiti, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Originally, it was like shot in like the city and stuff, and Odin was supposed to be a hobo, but he felt bad after. He's like, yeah, that kind of detracts away from like the gravity.
I heard that it was also because all the violence that was going on in cities and stuff recently, that they didn't want collateral damage and stuff to be shown on screen.
That's what I was under the impression of, because that would cause them, because they didn't finish that sequence for this movie. Like, you can tell it was unfinished. It was just, there were sequences that just didn't look good.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it looked, obviously it was green screen, but like, I actually liked them doing it in Norway, because I mean, it's kind of, where they believe in mythology. Right. It just, I don't know, it was more, I don't know, poignant. It was only their own.
It didn't like seem out of place because like Doctor Strange sent them there and stuff, but like at the same time, the green screen took you out of the moment. Where I think it could have been much more impactful if it was
in person. Better. Yeah, obviously. Yeah,
that's why my issue his passing, and then you have Hela's destruction of Mjolnir.
I loved her. Oh my god,
I think she was great. Kate Blanchett did a great job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, like. I'm seeing her in a whole new light, because before and everything I was just like, oh yeah, like you're a cute, lady and all that stuff. You're a pretty lady, but like this, I'm just like, oh shit, like, wow.
You're a bad there, Tony. Like, what's going on here?
I thought she did a fantastic job in this. Like, she, as a villain, great villain. So, which is rare to say in a Marvel movie. We haven't really had a lot of good villains.
Yeah.
Did anybody else feel a little Trumpy there with when she was at Asgard? All I could think to myself was, "Make Asgard great again! Make Asgard great again!"
I mean, I didn't, but I could see. Like now that you say that, I'm like, I could, see the. I don't think it was intentional, but
no, I don't think it was intentional. But it's just like, wow, with everything that's going on in the world, oh man.
The one thing I was kind of disappointed in was like how 2 out of the 3 of the brothers 3, totally just. Fucking dead.
No lines, just
no lines. Just no. The one character said, "Who are you?"
That was
Ray Stevens said no lines.
That was Zach Levy, Levi that said that. Actually, I thought he died. Chuck. They both died so quickly. That was another issue I had with the movie. Like again, cutting out all of the established characters from Thor 1 and 2. Like they undid those movies. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Like again, this is all. Like,
it's not undoing it. It's exactly like Thor, dude.
Wait, Jim. So if Hopper dies, it's undoing season 2 and season 1.
It's just like the way that they did it. It was like a brush pass in like 30 seconds. It's not.
They were totally shown to be completely not important at all.
And then they talked about Sif.
Like
Sif's gone. She's not here. Oh, and Jane, that sucked. What happened to her? She's off screen, so they'll just off screen. They just brushed through everything that was going on in those movies. I'm just telling you, everything that's gone on in this universe for 2 movies was undone in about 30
And like
minutes.
I said, I don't feel like it was undone at all. Like, I think that it was a progression of where the story was going. Like, it doesn't feel undone to me. Like, I still feel like
it's not like right. And moments. I mean, they did the same thing with the Gwyneth Paltrow's, whatever her character. Yeah, in Iron Man 3, it's like, in Civil War, it's like, you guys are on a break, and we're fighting, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then she comes back with Spider-Man: Homecoming. Like, I mean, that's exactly like comic books, man. Like, I don't understand why you're complaining about this. It happens all the fucking time in comics.
I had an issue with it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just that was.
No, I mean, it's fair though. I mean, I can understand people having a problem. I think you keep saying undone. It's like your main word here.
The only thing, again, for me is Loki, because I don't really care about any of these other characters at all. But Loki had
characters. I like those other his band of merry men.
I don't even remember them, to be honest.
What?
I didn't even remember them. No,
they were barely in Dark World.
Yeah, they were.
I don't remember them, and I didn't care at all when they died. I didn't even know that they were supposed to be someone. I'm like, are those important guys? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's why
they're supposed to be his friends, but in Dark World they didn't really do anything with him. So I mean, in a way, like I was like, I was actually expecting something to happen. Like, no, they're just dead, and the third guy at least tried.
What'd you guys think of Carl Urban's character?
He was.
That's what I wanted to say. It's like, call this one Des and this one Troy. Together, destroy. Yeah. Like I got it from a place on the realm of Earth called Texas.
Once again, I'm confused about how like powers work for like Asgardians because or even these things that they're fighting, the dead Asgardians, I guess, like because they just got blown away by like human weapons really easily, like I've never seen them before there.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seemed a little strange.
Technically, it only worked on like the zombie Asgardians.
It didn't really work.
I guess so.
And I guess I didn't know
that they were holding their own against
Asgardians had normal Asgardians. I thought they were all a warrior race. Like I thought they were all. Like,
I don't know. This is like, and then Thor has powers.
Hold on, we're way towards the end. Let's rewind this. Let's rewind. Yeah. Scourge in the beginning, I thought was like Scourge, it's like all right, this is the Weasley character that's whatever. I liked when he showed up and was like, Thor's here, and Loki's like, you had one job. Like, it's like, I'm just the janitor. It's like, come with me, and Hela trying to give him a chance to be the executioner and whatnot. I mean, I thought he was all right. Like, I thought he was
his character's name in the comic book is Scourge the Executioner.
Oh, is it?
Okay. All right, so let's move into the Planet Hulk. Which is got the debut of one of my favorite, like Jeff Goldblum's character. Grandmaster was awesome.
Jeff Goldblum, I'm pretty sure he has no idea like who or what he played, but they just told him to Goldblum it up for like
just be yourself.
How many ever minutes he's on screen, and they
it was like almost if like he was just there, and then like, wait, we should just put you in this movie. Do you want to be in this movie? And it's like, sure. What do I do? It's like, be yourself.
Yeah, it was almost like he was watching. It was almost like he was watching them film it, and they're like, just get in front of the camera. Just come over here. If you could wear this outfit too, that would be great. And he just kept talking.
No, I mean that's Jeff Goldblum already had that outfit. What are you talking about?
What am I saying?
That's his personal wardrobe.
It's probably what he was wearing that day. That weird paint on his face, and he was like already dressed up.
I have to say his assistant lady was pretty hilarious. Her straight man
just wanted to kill everyone.
Apparently, that's not an original Marvel character. Apparently, it's from Malibu Comics or something. Like really? Marvel had acquired them. Yeah.
No, I thought his character was great.
I like how he's like, why are you handing me the glowy melting stick? Like that's not this doesn't call for that. Like that's come on. He just seems so erratic, just like, all right, I forgive you, but you have to die.
His character. We also get the Valkyrie.
Valkyrie was a highlight for me too. I thought that
her appearance was so awesome. It's just she shows up drunk as fuck. It's like, all right, you're gonna have to go through me. It's like, but where do you have him? Oh, all right. Looks like I have to go through you. And just
I didn't really like her that much.
I liked her.
I thought she was
I
good.
thought it's like, oh look, she's gonna be antagonistic, and then his friend later. Here we go. I mean, it was just, I don't know. There was just sort of.
I was like, Thor is gonna be on the bad guy side, and then he's gonna be on the good guy side. I think you saw that coming right away too.
Yeah. I think that I saw that coming from the beginning as well. So I mean, they telegraphed that stuff, but I thought her character was good, really good. Really
I loved when right before they sent Thor to fight Hulk, and he's trying to get her attention. He's like, "Oh, you're a Valkyrie," and he's like, "I think it's really great that like he's like, I don't know, the equivalent of like female whatever." He's like, "Oh, I always wanted to be a Valkyrie until I learned that they were women." And not that I'm saying women can't be warriors or anything. Like, you gotta back yourself to the corner there. It's like, Thor.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then we get introduced to Hulk on this planet, which, Corey, brings me to my point of the fact that he was already on the planet fighting like crazy as a gladiator, so they could do a prequel.
No.
No.
Just telling you,
no.
They could get
because you're missing the whole the characters that they butcher and they destroy the characters.
Why? Because Beta
Korg
and
Meek. Korg and Meek. Oh my god, those terrible characters. Yeah. So important.
People like Korg quite a bit.
And where's his woman?
What, the Rock Soldier dude from Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. It took me a while, Corey. It took me a while to just brush past what they did to him, and I liked him.
Planet Hulk, 2 years, the idea of Planet Hulk and where it goes, you can't do because of Thor ruins it. Thor Ragnarok movie ruins it. So you saying, oh, he was already there, does not mean you make a Planet Hulk movie.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, I mean, he could always get sent back.
And the reason he's there too, why he's there, you can't do.
All right. Well, I mean, if Disney gets Fox,
Yeah, it could. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like, anyways,
I totally understand your gripes. Corey, I completely understand your gripes. I know we've been talking about it leading up to this movie. I understand your gripes, but at the same time, maybe, what did you expect them to do? I think they made the best of what they could do with.
Sure, and I like the movie. I love all the Asgardian stuff. I love the Thor stuff, and I love that the pairing of them together. Because in Avengers, that the two of them together was fantastic, and you could see that that would be perfect. Yeah. But because you need somebody that Thor can go against
each
and beat
other's
Thor.
Punches. Yeah,
exactly. You need that. You need each other.
I love it too when Thor was trying to convince the Hulk. He's like, "No, you are my favorite." Banner's all like science and numbers, and you're all like,
sun's going down.
I love that. I loved him doing that.
The entire
that was
movie.
Great. Sun's going down, big guy.
Getting real cold.
Shots fired at Ultron.
Yeah.
And then
I think they did it one too many times, but the first few times it was hilarious.
I like when he was on the Quinjet too. He's like, Thor, strongest Avenger. And it's not bad. And then it's like, Hulk, strongest Avenger. It's just like, what the?
Damn you, Tony. Point break. Access granted.
So, I mean, what did you guys think of the Hulk in this movie? Talking about the Hulk, I thought
I liked him.
I thought he did a good job on the planet. Actually, I like Banner in this actually too. It was like
I like them both, and I like how they actually gave Hulk talking. He wasn't just like smash, he maybe because he had been in that form for 2 years or whatever. He's able to develop somewhat of an intellect.
Dialogue,
I love them both. I like when Banner's like, oh, what? Where am I? What's going on? This, that, the other thing, and he's like, oh, you and I fought, and he's like, oh, did I win? No, I won. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It was kind of that was in the trailer too, which we'll talk about trailers spoiling stuff. But
my issue about that in the trailer is the trailer probably could have been the funniest line with he's a friend from work. I like that. I just love that line. That it's a great line still, but it could have been even funnier.
Loki cheering though when you get puny gods.
That was awesome. He's like, that's how it feels.
I think that and I like that fight. We got to see Thor versus the Hulk. That was a great fight sequence to actually have. Some weird lightning thing going on with Thor we didn't know at that point in time. But
I don't really understand why he has half of his powers locked from him every now and then. Doesn't.
Well, that's him tapping into the Odin Force.
So that wasn't explained. I know he
It's the same reason
Odin,
11 couldn't push the train or whatever, because
Yeah, I
she
know.
needed to tap that extra energy.
Well,
or
that was
hate.
explained a little
And they
more.
could even argue that it didn't happen because Odin was still alive, and now that he's dead,
And he just needed to get beat up enough where he like had the flash sequence to Odin and be like, he needed to see him. So I mean,
But
it was.
he's
I
always
thought
been the god of thunder,
it better.
not the god of
But, like,
hammers.
The hammer trapped his powers to focus it. So technically, I think you could say that. I think they explained it fine.
Do we get Mjolnir back?
So just it's weird though, because all the promotional stuff with like the new with Infinity War has him with 2 eyes and the hammer.
Really?
But I think they just did that. They weren't spoiled.
I agree with you, Corey. It's interesting because I thought at least what had Whedon had built up in Avengers: Age of Ultron with Captain America almost moving. Yeah, and the whole way that Infinity War in the comic, or was it Infinity Wars or Secret Wars, whatever it was called
they almost
officially.
Have to have that sequence,
right? They almost have to have it.
Yeah.
So, I think we get it back. I don't know how. Yeah. But I think at least Mjolnir really.
I think there's going to be some.
It's too iconic.
I still believe there's going to be some time stuff involved in Infinity War because of Miss Marvel, or what's her name? Is it? What they call her, Captain Marvel?
I think there could be time stuff because you got a time stone and a reality stone, so you could just warp that shit all you want. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Fuck Miss Marvel.
Well, no, I'm just saying that, her being. I think she's gonna be in the movie as I really do. So.
I just think the stones are gonna be like whatever we need to happen. The stone will do it. Yeah. The stone will do it. But as far as I just really want to touch on Planet Hulk a little bit more here.
All right.
See, the thing is, I look at Hulk in this movie, and if you take his character seriously, I don't see how you could be like, "Oh, this is great for Hulk."
But it was a comedy, though. It was a light. That's what Corey's saying.
I know, but again, like this character who,
well, that's what they
might
ruined
be some
with
people's
Planet
favorite
Hulk was
character,
not a comedy.
Comic relief.
I mean, that's what Corey's saying. Like they didn't do him justice with the Planet Hulk side of things.
I just feel like this was a fine movie, and I love the pairing together. I love the fact that all the Asgardian stuff. I like all of it, but just the fact that they used Planet Hulk, and now you can't do Planet Hulk anymore the way that it should have been done in the first place is very disappointing.
They could do
necessarily
World War. They could still do that.
No, but it doesn't make sense. No. It doesn't make sense.
I did really like. Just jumping to the end a little bit here when he goes after the Ragnarok.
He's like, just watch. It's gonna be all right.
Who are you?
I feel like he just splats, but I like the part where he when he's Hulk smashing and he just starts going after what's the
big thing.
And he's like, no Hulk, no.
No smash.
Because Hulk's just like Hulk's like, let's do this.
Like no question asked, like, oh, something else to beat up. Like,
yep. I did love that part, but I mean, I obviously, Corey, I understand your gripes. I do, I really do, because I love that story.
I hated the Rock guy and I hated Meek.
Yeah,
because those characters were instrumental in Planet Hulk and what that story was, and they were totally not what they were.
No,
well,
absolutely. It took me a while to adjust. Like by the end, I didn't mind the Rock Korg, but I had to completely get out of that. I know, but
that's the director too. Like he's voice acting it.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, I actually love that guy.
Yeah, I know. He's a very likable guy because of that. Like, a lot of people did.
He's cute.
It's just so annoying, too, at the end where he's like, Meek's dead. I stepped on him. And then like, oh, Meek's alive, guys.
I felt bad, so I've been carrying around all day. It's like, what the fuck?
That's where I was like, okay, stop. That's pretty funny.
I like when he was, like, reading, like, or doing, like, an ad-lib, like, inspirational speech when, like, Asgard's getting fucked up. He's like, don't worry, as long as, like, the spirit will remain of blah, blah, and then it just blows up.
It's rebuild.
It's like the foundation's still there.
Yeah, the foundation's like, well, there goes the foundation. But I mean, I understand your personal gripes, Corey, but like the thing is, and to Mike, to what you were saying, I just don't think the Hulk works as a movie character. Like in the comics, that's fine.
It could have worked in Planet.
I think it's way too goofy for.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been.
For that.
But I mean, you could say that about Thor, though. Like,
right, and that's what I said about
around.
Thor.
But now they
him, and I think
it's not right, but they didn't turn it like super serious. Like,
no, I understand, but I think they could have made a good Planet Hulk movie. I think they could have done it.
I'm not saying they couldn't have made a Planet Hulk movie,
especially
but think of how much back work they would have had to have done to get that to happen.
No, I I understand. It's just that's like I said, and I've said it so many times. Like it's one of my favorite stories in the comics, and that's what you get on screen.
You have it in the comics.
I know, but then you get this atrocity of fucking Thor Ragnarok. But I like the movie too, which is like frustrating because I really like what they did with Thor and then Asgard and Hulk with Thor. I don't mind
what they did with Hulk. Yeah, Hulk and Thor together was fine. I understand your gripe with the Planet Hulk, but I'm not. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But so let's talk about I guess throughout the movie, like I guess we have the what's his name, Idris Elba's character.
Heimdall or
Heimdall, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like
I thought he was.
No.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I just thought it was like,
He's always been such a powerful Asgardian that like I do like how he was like just fucking things up, and because he was like he could rival Odin. They had said like a while back with power. He just never does because it's like his king. Yeah. So like I think they mentioned that in like Thor or something like that. I've read that somewhere. I know that his power can rival Odin's, but he's a servant to Odin, so he doesn't do that. But then when like Odin's not in charge, then he's like, "Fuck this! I'm going on a rebel." He knows it was Loki. He knew that right off the bat, so he just quit.
Yep.
So
that's whatever.
But he sees everything.
Yeah, he just sees everything. So, I mean, what do we think about talk about the ending real quick. They get back to the planet there.
Yeah. So the ending then. The interesting thing about the ending is you actually see Hulk bleed, which you wouldn't even know if that was possible.
I think I missed that. Wait,
he did?
Was that the like dog thing?
Fenrir bites his leg and he bleeds from that.
I guess I didn't notice the blood.
Yeah. Really?
Interesting.
Interesting.
But those like in the actual lore of like the Norse mythology, like Fenrir and Hela are both like Loki's kids, I think.
Really?
In the actual lore.
I know they rewrote them both.
Loki is
like,
nothing.
So, yeah.
I feel like as far as the ending goes, they spoiled that ending. Like you see that ending, the ending in trailer.
You do? Really?
Yeah, you do know.
I mean, the final trailer is Thor jumping at what's his name? The fire demon.
Yeah, I forgot.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But he's jumping at him as he's like trying to destroy Asgard, and you're like, oh well, that's cool. And then you kind of see you've seen most of Hulk's scenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Did you see I mean, Hela obviously is not gonna be dead. I mean, we didn't get like that.
No, I don't think Hela's dead.
Not that
no
death.
way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they had her repeat the goddess of death way too much for that not to be like Thanos' object of affection. Like that's 100% the tie there. 100%. I absolutely no doubt in my mind at this point.
And him showing up. Now that was confirmed. That was his.
Yep.
They call that ship
Sanctuary 2.
Yeah, that's the name of that ship.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
We assumed. I didn't know that was the official thing.
So,
I do,
but just to clarify, people don't know. Like in the comics, Thanos is obsessed with death because death is a character.
I think we've said that.
And he's in love with it. Like, just clarifying for people who don't know. Like so it makes a lot of sense to bring a big actress like Cate Blanchett into the series and have her come back for more than just like a movie.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. I think that.
And you don't see a body, so.
Nope.
No, see it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I thought she did great. Like, I know we talk about how consistently Marvel's one of their biggest weaknesses is like the lack of a proper villain, and then that villain, like, going through different movies, like they usually just kill them off. I want to see more of Hela. Like, she was awesome. Like, she felt threatening. She felt confident. Like, I really just loved how much she shit talked Thor every time they talk. Like when she like slashes eyes, she's like, "Oh, now you're reminding me of Dad." I was like, "Oh, you fucking bitch!" Like, oh man.
Yeah. So we
and her taking out the Valkyrie is a cool sequence.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. The imagery in that was amazing.
Yeah.
It was well shot. The movie definitely.
It was well shot.
I really liked the climax actually, because that for me, like when Thor is like Raiden, I mean that's he's just like a thunder god for real going through there, and like that was my favorite action sequence in the movie.
Yeah, same here. I was like,
I
wow,
like the intro better. I like the intro.
I honestly don't remember like the intro being good because I was too like off put by all the jokes that were put on. Like I honestly don't remember the intro.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. Overall, guys, I mean, anything else to add for that? We're gonna do overall. If you don't want to talk about anything else on it, I think we covered most of it.
Well, really quick, I just want to go over. you mentioned in the beginning how like you felt like this really undid a lot of things, but to me, I felt like this is a really good culmination of
undid.
Thor
brushed past is going to be the word.
Okay, all right, brushed past is fine, but like
that's
the thing
better.
is,
that's better.
The way that Thor addressed Loki, I just thought it was awesome and like showed like the development and the evolution of their relationship. Because when they're in the elevator, he's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna, like. We should probably go our separate ways. Like it's like I'm me, you're you, this and the other." Yeah. And then he's like, I thought they did a really good thing where he's like, let's do the help. Like, oh no, we're not doing help. That's not gonna work. He's like, we're doing help. Come on. And the next thing is help my brother, and goes off into that thing. But like, not only was that funny, but they used that effectively because that's when obviously he put that little electrocution device on Loki. Yeah. And he had learned. He's like, oh Loki, like you that's the thing is you never change. You never change, and that's like the whole thing. It's like Loki's just a fucking scumbag weasel of a dude.
Come back.
Right. He did. But, a lot of it was him trying to get glory. He's like, oh, your savior has arrived. It's like, can't just do it, without getting the credit or the recognition.
So what do we, I mean, the ending on the ship there, we okay, like with the
Is this fun? Is this like...
It's just, again, there was a joke
planet,
going on while that was happening. So it's like, all right, it's not a big deal.
No, I definitely felt like there was no, like, stakes either. But as far as, like... And the thing is... you destroy an entire planet or whatever Asgard is, right? A city maybe, but like how many people were there? Like there's maybe like a couple hundred people, and that was it for the entire place. Like okay,
well,
maybe Hela just killed them all.
I mean, all the military, they killed the entire military. It's all just peasants now.
Yeah,
no more fighters.
That's what Asgard is. So it's kind of weird, but like I did understand like your gripe there, Mike, where the ending there was no stakes whatsoever, and you felt nothing as far as like the drama part of it. I didn't feel anything like, oh, cool. We're going to see Ragnarok.
Right. I mean, I didn't feel drama, but at the same time, like, I understood, like, they needed to have because Hela would have just gotten stronger, by being on Asgard.
It was a nice reveal or whatever, but if you saw the trailer, you knew it was coming. So it was like, it was cool to hear, like, they were like, oh, it wasn't for us to ever, like, stop it. It reminded me very much of Terminator 3, actually. Where it's like, we were never supposed to stop it. We were only supposed to survive it. Like, and so I was like, well, we were never supposed to stop it. We were supposed to actually trigger it. And so...
So I guess I never saw the final Thor trailer because I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah. Like, you see that whole sequence, basically, of him destroying it. It's like, really? You're going to show that? But the end of the ship part, I mean, I don't know. It's weird to see him with the one eye. It's like, really, like you're really going to do that?
Also, that was kind of weird was sometimes there's all this CGI in that movie, and that makeup was like just obviously his eye closed with like black makeup on it for a lot of it. I was kind of like, because I wasn't sure his eye was actually gone. I'm like, oh, it's just scratched.
It was very quick where she like did the scooping motion.
Well, I think there was a lot of editing out some of the more violent things that happened. You could see like when people got stabbed, like there was a quick cut or you didn't see all of it, and that too. There was there was a lot of stuff I think they had to edit back to keep that rating, but. His eye didn't look missing to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not until he put a patch on it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right. Overall, guys, I would give this... I'm 7.58, somewhere in there for this movie. I liked it. I thought it was weird, though, and I had some gripes, obviously, to listen to. Looking forward to what they do now with Thor, as now they've at least established this for me, so I think I can enjoy it more going forward because I know what we're getting now.
I think you're going to like it more in a rewatch, Jim.
I might. I mean, like I said, I only feel like it missed.
It's going to be like the Lego movie for you. You didn't like the Lego movie, but then you're like, oh.
I really liked it, yeah. I really liked it the next time I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. So, we'll see. I probably should rewatch this again, unlike Justice League, where I have to watch that twice. Mike, what do you think?
You don't have to.
No, I know.
No, I'm at like 7.5, 8 too. Like, it was funny, mostly. Again, early on, I wasn't like in the mood really for like to be funny right from the start. So like those jokes were just like kind of annoying to me, and some of them were like, all right, enough. But I like Goldblum. I like the action, especially in the second half. And but again, it was just I sort of feel like I didn't need to see the movie, like to really like. I don't think like if you miss this, you can still go into the next movies in like the Marvel universe and not really miss anything.
It was definitely a standalone film.
It was, I know, but like it was fun, but it wasn't like essential to me. Yeah. So yeah, like 7.5 to 8. 8 maybe just because it was like.
It's funny though, because like I'm gonna give it an 8, and I think my 8's like more like excited about an excited 8 than it is a like, oh well, I guess I'll give it an 8.
No, I
thing.
mean, I'm not like I'm gonna
Default
give it. I'm
good
just
enough
like,
8.
yeah, I never said it was a bad movie. I've always said it was good. It wasn't what I was expecting. So, you know, it's not the best Marvel movie of all time.
I knew going in like I was gonna hate all the Planet Hulk stuff, so like I figured that like I wasn't gonna knock it.
I think we all did, Corey.
And so like I wasn't gonna say this movie's gonna be terrible because of that, because I think the characters and the character moments, and for me the jokes all hit good enough for me. Like I enjoyed that, so for me that was enough to say like this is a good film, and I would say it's worth watching absolutely.
Yeah.
As far as Marvel movies go, and I mean there are obviously better ones, like you said, but it's definitely in the upper level of the
levels. Yeah,
I'd say top third.
Yeah,
Do you think it's better than the other 2 Thors?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, for me, I like it better. I do like the first one still. I do like that movie. Yeah. It's just I think this one, I liked Thor in this one more because you got to see Thor at his best. And I think Hemsworth nailed the role there. And the guy is jacked. I mean, he looks like Thor.
Yeah, he's got now.
He is Thor. Yeah. Like, it's kind of funny because, real quick, I mean, it doesn't have much to do, but, like, you could see how, like...
we saw Hulk's ass in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
But, like, I mean, because, like, I think Chris Evans, like, hasn't really kept up with, like, the Captain America body. I think he looks, obviously...
He's also covered more.
Right, he's covered more, but, like, props to Chris Hemsworth being able to keep Thor body going.
Bigger. He looks bigger.
I know, he looks, like, bigger. I was like, oh, my God, like, this dude's bicep is bigger than his waist.
When you saw Chris Evans in the first Captain America trailer in the thing, whatever, you're like, Jesus Christ,
right?
Like, what did this guy eat?
Yeah, like, nothing but chicken.
And then you see Thor, and like obviously for the ladies, like get him shirtless.
Yeah, of course, they have to have that sequence for him. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, like, cause like they do that in the first movie too, where they make him shirtless, whatever, and like they who's this doctor guy? Putting the shirt on, whatever. But like even there, like you don't realize how big this guy is until like even when he's sitting next to Hulk, you're like, wow, this guy's still jacked.
Yeah. Tony, what'd you think?
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. Score 8. Like in terms of like if I have to judge it individually as a movie, I mean it's not Winter Soldier, it's not Civil War, not even like a Avengers.
How about this? How about the standalone films? Where do you rate it with like Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and because those are like
wait, this movie is a standalone movie?
What?
Why would you rate this as a standalone movie?
Oh, it's just recent movies, all right, that they've done.
Because it has nothing to do with anything that's going on. That's why.
Oh, I knew. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like one movies. That's why I thought you meant like Iron Man 1, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange.
I just pulled out movies that had nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Yes.
I think it's better than better than Ant-Man and Doctor Strange. I don't think it's as good as Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
I think it's better than Ant-Man and about the same as Doctor Strange.
I'm going to go better than Doctor Strange tightly. It's close.
Like, I like Doctor Strange, but I actually don't have a desire to ever rewatch that movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem. Like, I have it, and I haven't rewatched it since I got it. I was like,
Like, I think...
It's got the Dark Knight syndrome for you, Jim.
Yeah. No, I would say that.
It's not a too heavy movie, though. It's just...
No, it's not as fun, Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say. Like, so, like as a movie, this probably only gets an 8. But like in terms of like watchability, like I will get this movie. I will put this on just like while I'm doing.
Let's say AYCG Jim, like standard now is the
Jim
the watchability rating.
I love that. I love that
watchability, but something that you're not actually watching.
Because I'm the one that told you about that system
something else
in the summer when Avengers and Dark Knight came.
No, I was always talking about
Dark
that
Knight
with Iron Man.
Rises.
I've always mentioned that with Iron Man and Dark Knight.
Okay.
Since day one, I've always mentioned that.
All right.
Iron Man has always been more watchable than Dark Knight. Doesn't mean that it's
better. I mean, I've always remembered as Jim's standard as far as his.
Yeah.
All right.
I've had that from 07 then, or 08, whatever that is.
I hate that. I hate that whole concept.
But it's true. it is true.
If you're gonna watch something, watch it, and you're not gonna pay attention to it. Then do you really like it?
It's like
that's a bad analogy.
Like, I can watch Transformers a billion times. It's not like compared to, I don't know, let's take an artsy movie. Like I can watch Transformers more than Logan.
The English Patient, which won an Academy Award.
I'm looking at my
The
wall
English
here.
Patient.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like whatever award-winning movie there is. I can watch Transformers more than that. Inception. Inception. There's a good movie. Great movie.
Yeah, like I love Inception. It's one of my favorite movies. I've only watched it like 3 times.
Yeah,
it's
I can
just
watch
really
Transformers
hard.
like a billion times. It's not a better movie than Inception.
And one of my favorite movies, action movies ever, is The Matrix, and it's pretty heavy. I would watch that over and over before I'd watch something.
The watchability on that's higher than.
Yeah, I would say the watchability on
watchability rating, Mike. It's a watchability rating. That's nothing to do
I don't
with
understand.
heavy.
I don't understand what it is then, because
you have a different rating system. That's all it is. It's just it's not about heaviness.
There's quality movie and watchability rating, and like it's very rare for both of those to be high in a movie. That's what I'm saying. Rare. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Like, even like the Lord of the Rings movies are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
not watchability.
Is this just a length issue? Is this a length issue?
No,
it sounds like length
is part. It's like a depth
There's a big
movie.
part of it.
It's like a depth of a movie, like powerful movie and stuff. Like if it's later, it's easier to watch.
It's basically like, do you want to watch The Wire or do you want to watch Futurama? Like, just put on Futurama for now, or The Office, something. Like, you can just put on The Office and watch whatever. It's like, it's junk food. And,
exactly. You know, like every now and then, I want like $100 steak. Most of the time, not gonna eat $100 steak.
Yeah, it's still better, but it's not like I'm gonna go get the $20 one though because I can just.
I think this is part of my console gaming, and I don't like handheld gaming mentality. Where if I want to do an entertainment thing, I'm gonna go all in on it and not do anything else.
I mean, that's everybody's
scheduled time to do that, and that I don't want to be doing anything half-assed. So that's why I don't quite buy into that.
Well, I think that's going to wrap up Thor, though. We can talk about this for hours, but that's going to wrap up the spoiler cast for Thor. Write us and let us know what you thought. Podcast at allyoucangeek.net, on Twitter, allyoucangeek, on Facebook as well, and on YouTube. If you're not watching us, we're on there.
Let us know if we missed anything, too. Like,
I'm sure we did. It's been a long night.
Long night,
one of our longest podcast nights in history. So we've gotten 4
It's going to be a busy season. It's going to be a busy season.
Tonight.
Probably Justice League coming up next, and then Star Wars.
We'll do a Star Wars spoiler cast.
Are you seeing it though, Tony? Where you can actually give a?
Of course. You got fucking movie pass, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
It doesn't have to be on the Justice League one. You don't have to be on it if you don't want to be on it. It's like,
but he's got a movie pass. So.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. Thanks for listening and viewing. Tune into our normal, regularly scheduled program. We're gonna have our Black Friday stuff coming up soon too, so look for that. That'll be the 21st, I think we looked at. So that week of. But
hit up our Discord.
Discord's on there too. All right. Later.